It's good they didn't do standing still for 2 minutes.
Well, I guess that's a good place to start everything off. This is podcast number 23. Feels like just yesterday. Our podcasts are now officially older than Legi, who's a young 14-year-old boy.
No, I'm a grandpa.
No, you're a young man, young virile, nubile man, looking for a good time. And we're in Keepers League. This is the 2 weeks out, or this is we're week 2. Week 2 and
it's hard to find good time there.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
Nah, I'm just joking, but
yeah, it's definitely a very interesting league because I think the POV has been wildly different depending on what your previous experience of play is. Like the veteran player POV versus the casual player seems to be a very different reaction this league than normal, which makes perfect sense because this league has a super, super, super high floor and like a little bit of a squanched ceiling.
It's all about how you can handle the hangover from
mercenaries,
or the withdrawal from the OP leagues, like the crazy loot we've had for a few leagues in a row.
Yes, yeah.
Because this is one of those leagues where loot has been going back like 4 leagues again. One of those.
Yeah, but there's to focus on the positive parts of the league, which there are definitely a few. The tree, which is we kind of initially called like simplified Necro League, which I think that still kind of fits. It's Necro League-esque. Well, it's a little bit strange because I would say a lot of the crafts that I've used for certain sides of the tree or certain parts feel like I have a couple points that don't matter, or I wish I just had, one more point for it to work. But definitely the most obvious part of the league initially for everybody would have been provisioning wound gifts early on, because it let you do really, really wacky things, like have a 6-link in Act 5 or just have atrocious gear. I mean, it's like just shitting out 6 tier 2s, everything, so.
I remember going from my Act 7 helmet to like a 5 tier 1 helmet, basically. Yeah. So like no progression, it's just straight to...
I mean, like even yesterday I was... And it's kind of out of your control. Like I was trying to make caster weapons, and it pooped out 1,000 ES body, and I just left it on the ground because I've got 5 in the bag. It's just like it's doing really weird things, and the bar for rare gear is super out of whack this league. So I guess we'll start with you, Legi. What was your initial experience with the tree, the main reward type in Keepers, and how have you been liking it so far?
I mean, I least started in trade. Let's start with that. And it was pretty whatever in trade. Like early on, I did get my 5-link. Actually, no, I tell a lie, because I remember like day 1 in trade, like I was printing 6-link and I literally geared up my entire character for like selling 3 6-links from the tree when people like didn't cut up. Because obviously, like if you play a lot and play fast, you're ahead of a lot of people and they need 6-links. So you can sell it for like 30, 40 C day 1. And that pretty much lets you buy all your uniques for like a meta character early on. So that was extremely good for me day 1. And then after I got bored of trade after 1 day, classic. Then it was amazing to league start a character and get a 6-link early. I got an obliteration day 1 from the tree as well, and I was playing the Manni's Reap character. So that was extremely nice. I mean, I was shocked how similar this was to Necropolis crafting, as you said, because like I was not a believer of us getting those crazy rares from the tree. I was not a believer, as we talked in the previous podcast, right? I was like, oh, this is gonna be like okay, but it turned out to be like so much more than I expected. Like not even like completely relevant in early game. It's also very relevant at end game for like getting fractured items, getting overqualified items even. That's wild part, completely wild in my opinion. So yeah, it's super good, and that's just for the provisioning part, and obviously there's a lot more to that.
Yeah, it was definitely the fractures alone were definitely a big part of certain crafts, like getting 35% fractured quality boots was really nice early on to then just like work off of that. How about yourself, Manni? What were your thoughts on the tree as you first experienced it and then up to now?
Yeah, I mean, I already said upgrading from Act rares to basically endgame all tier 1 rares. It was amazing. Pretty much as soon as I was into 16 maps, I finally had my breach tree fully unlocked. And then every time my blood was full, I would print a perfect item in each slot and went from slot to slot. And a couple hours later, I had the gear that I would normally have 5 days in. It was definitely very fun. A lot of my chatters were saying they got a 6-link in campaign already, and I couldn't believe. I thought surely that was just lucky, but then I tried it myself.
That was the norm.
It's 5 links and 6 links everywhere.
Well, for context, Joe, so the way that the tree says it reforges, items 150 times and picks the highest one. The average 5-link, I believe, is 125, and it's guaranteed at 150 from the bench. So 5-link is already slotted in. It's 1250 for 6 links and 1500 on the bench. So it really then becomes anytime you were to make any 2x6 item or 2x3 item, right? It's going to then be a 1 in 7 to be 6 linked effectively. So
it's not just that it's a 6-link, but it's also a really well-rolled 6-link.
Oh yeah.
Like I wouldn't just stop at any 6-link. You would just make another one a couple hours later, and I ended up getting one that would normally require recombinating and metacrafting, and it was like 600 something free pay armor, crazy body armors.
Yeah, exactly, kind of like a perfect base that you can influence through the tree. Exactly, like you can just pick whichever base type you want. It's ridiculous if you think about it.
It's
pretty much like Necropolis crafting, just way more simplified without all the pain parts. But it doesn't scale nearly as hard though. Like
no, you can't pick bases as a big one. Also, eventually,
Like you mentioned, how it's still relevant endgame. I don't really feel that way very much. Like I barely use it. I mean, maybe fishing for fractures, but since they compete with the blood for other crafts, I've completely phased it out pretty much after the first maybe 50 or 100 hours of playing the league. And I've almost not used it at all recently. I've just been focusing on uniques and Foulborn currency and even just making more of these grafts, because they can roll some very strong modifiers too.
Yeah, I mean, what I meant by like relevant in endgame is like if you want to reroll a character to get your, early fractured items that you can slap an essence or like harvest craft with, like, or just fish for like really good bases to recombine, or over quality bases, which is rare. I'll give you that definitely, but it is still relevant instead of like being completely worthless.
Fair.
I don't find myself using the provisioning ones super often, again, because of I'm focusing on like influence bases, experimental bases, harvest bases, and recombinating feels kind of bad for a lot of those at times, like trying to recom something over. Also, like the cost of recombing, that's kind of like not only a downside, but all the items that the tree are pooping out are pretty much like tier 1s and T2s, and then the cost of recombinating for dust gets pretty wild. So like trying to recomb like suppression over onto a different body, and everything's basically tier 1 rolls. It costs like 300,000 dust, which is just a little bit brutal. So I've just been not really doing that. The provisionings have become less about. I've honestly been 5-to-1ing a lot of them. Outside of making jewels, that's been nice, but
for me, it was a lot of like printing shields, for example. Like I was trying to like recombine a really juicy shield, but I just needed bases. So like printing titanium bases was super nice with the tree. It was like mostly.
Did you hit high quality, like ones that are over 20 consistently?
Not consistently, no. But like, I mean, it only mostly matters on like helmet or a chest piece, like in especially ES bases. So I didn't like print that many shields, but I did hit decent amount of like over quality chest pieces, which I was like,
I guess it depends on the base, because I was trying to do wands, and trying to hit a profane wand seems to be incredibly difficult.
I've had the same experience.
Yeah, it was like I'd be making wands, and it would be maybe like a third of the time it'd be minion wands. Like, and that's where it really depends on the base you're doing, because some of them have real big issues. And same thing with weapons, because the system's based on it's pulling and pushing mod weighting for even things like equip statistics. So it's more int, less dex, yada yada. And it was like trying to make a 2-hand sword initially. I would get like so many axes, and it would kind of be like, oh, that's a bummer, because there's nothing I could do with this if I'm sticking with swords. And then I just got so many, I just swapped weapon types. But that doesn't work for Like, it's not too bad for two-hand weapon builds, but for caster ones, it's like, oh, I got this, +2 wand, and it's on a convening wand, and that's feels worse.
I think the wand base is like the worst because like you have the
Scepters is
minion
really
ones,
hard
you have
too.
like the kinetic wand, like you have like your random ones with like flat damage. I think wand and weapons overall, like you cannot pick it up. But like for armor, I would say like it's pretty like almost like guaranteed. I mean, well, let's not call it guaranteed. Let's say it's like very likely to get the best base, right?
Yep.
The resist based items are so like any item you want resist on is really easy to make. It seems,
Yeah, boots, gloves, boots, gloves, bodies, helmets. That if whatever
rings
say,
also,
yeah,
triple D1 rest rings everywhere.
you say that, but I had the hardest fucking time trying to get amethyst rings, like specifically.
True.
I was trying to get even something
as
simple as tier 1 life, tier 1 chaos res on an amethyst. I could not make one. I ended up just alt making one. Like
I ended up getting tier 1 chaos res on other pieces everywhere though, so I had no issues just skipping the amethyst base.
Well, your recombinator works a little bit different than my recombinator, apparently.
No, I didn't recombinate.
You just go for the chaos guaranteed on like armor pieces, and there's no like anything else but chaos res, so you just get it on like boots, on gloves, or something like that.
I wanted all of it though, on every slot.
But yeah, like gear wise, like that's kind of what we covered. What the tree is good for. But like I would say that's not the the main part of the tree. Is the uniques, right? It's the unique part is.
It is. So there was really something interesting to that point. There was a guy did a pretty okay sample size on womb gift drop rates and what they are, etc. And mysterious and the ancient ones are substantially less common, which is to be expected. And up until last week, we couldn't 5-1 them, but now you could 5-1. So I've been 5-1ing to try to get more of those because the only thing I really give a shit about is just the ancient ones. I just want to see Foulborns, right? For me, that's like the main part of the league. So pretty much everything else becomes just part of a 5-1 for Foulborns. But the ancient part of the tree, we've obviously had drastically different experiences because was it yesterday, Legi, you got a headhunter, which is
yeah, I did get a headhunter.
Was that your first T0 you hit, and was it Foulborn headhunter?
It's a non-Foulborn headhunter. It's just a clean, nice headhunter. Yeah. But I got a T0 unique beforehand, and it was bound Defiance of Destiny.
That's also good.
It was Foulborn actually.
What was the
mana one?
What made it Foulborn? Like, what was the Foulborn modifier?
It's the unique added in the last patch, actually. I will link it to you, actually, so we can show it up.
I have not hit even a tier 1, let alone a T0 off of the tree. So nothing...
And I was going to say as well, the ancient part of the tree might as well not have existed for me. It would not have changed anything for me.
Yeah.
I have not had any luck there. I mean, I've had a double Foulborn Barrack Spider, which is very strong and very expensive, but I'm not using it.
Oh, it's mana instead of life. That's what the Defiance is.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just weird. It's a bit higher mana than life.
It is, yeah.
It's not very useful unless you build like very heavily around it. Yeah. But like if you build like big mom characters.
Big mom characters. Well, there's also the Foulborn, the new council mask that is 30% mom on it, like an extra chunk of mom that lets you reach 100% now through different conversion types. So that could be a thing. But you were saying, Manny, about the ancient part of the tree?
Yeah, I was just saying, for me, it hasn't returned anything rare yet that I was looking for.
Yeah.
No rare jewels or bells that I've been mostly focusing on those. Making bells more likely and jewels more likely.
Really not much you could do because there's just that one node for each, and then I mean, even I would say half of the tree doesn't even do anything for if you don't care about breach items, there goes half of the Foulborn.
Well, there's the chance to get a double Foulborn item and chance to get an extra item.
Yeah.
And chance to get the rarer of the two or whatever it says, the lucky roll.
Yep.
So you pretty much fill out the tree pretty you have something to click always. Like I wish I had more points, in fact.
Well, what would you put more points in the tree? Because I think
there's the reduced attribute requirements to just target jewelry even more.
Do you think that works? I thought that would work, but I wasn't sure.
Definitely.
Okay.
It does work, yeah, 100%.
So if there's just to clarify, people who are watching or listening, there's 3 different, the same small node section that like the armor weapon side has, which has 3 nodes for 300% more likely of the requirement type than 3 or 85% less likely. And the idea is if you grab all 3 85% less, it should have a more chance of getting you something that does not require stats, right?
You almost entirely exclude any weapons or armors.
Yeah.
There's still a couple that show up. When I use 20k blood, there might be like 1 or 2 in the pile, but it's mostly jewelry pieces like belts, rings, jewels, flasks, anything that doesn't have requirements. So you would think you could target a belt pretty well, and there are a lot of people that have gotten ahead under a mage blood, but still not that easy.
What would you
It is
cut
extremely
then?
rare.
You would cut the 50% chance to birth an additional item, or would you cut the 25% for multiple Foulborns? Because
Neither.
you
I
have
just
to
don't have jewel and belt chance at the same time.
Okay, you're just picking one versus the other. That's what you're saying. Got it. I'll try that for a week and see how many mage bloods I print.
I mean, I filled a quad tap of bells that I've been feeding to Rock by now, but he's not happy about them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could go an hour and not find an ancient womb gift, though.
Oh,
I mean,
have you tried the increased ancient womb gift grafts?
I do. I have them on.
Too.
Yes, I have.
I feel like it made a huge difference. I keep getting ancient now.
It made huge difference for me as well. I'm always running one now. I think it's like a lot of people say it doesn't work. I think they're full of shit.
Well, initially they were saying that it was the opposite, where it was having over 100% was reducing the odds of it happening. But that could have been a bug that was fixed.
Maybe, but it does work. Like 100% does work. It's good. Definitely, if you want ancient, just go for an ancient.
I've had a triple ancient from a fortress explosion twice today. I feel like I've never had that before. I had both of those equipped.
Yeah,
definitely feels noticeable to me. But hard to keep actual data on it. You would have to actually track, and I'm too lazy for that.
Well, definitely, I'll make sure I grab those, because I was doing tons of womb gifts for grafts, and I was trying to get Prod's chance just even once, because I'm playing Spark currently, and I didn't see it ever. But it just feels like that system. I'm not a huge fan of the arm. I mean, the grafts, because I just feel like there's not much crafting involved. I could be wildly wrong, but it seems like I just generate them, and then if there's room, I could slam, and then if not, then it just gets 5 to 1.
Yep.
I can't. To me, it seems like there's just no anything there. But
what I've noticed on them is that since the tree has a lot of modifier tier rating, you basically don't expect to ever slam anything good. The good ones will just come as 4-mod rares already.
Yeah.
Because if you do get a 4-mod rare, it tends to have tier 1s and tier 2s, and it actually can be good. Crafting a blue one up to a 4-mod seems impossibly hard. So I've been mostly just focusing on upping the modifier tier rating and just printing more of them and just being a good one right away. Well, it's crazy how rare some of the good modifiers are, though.
Like the extra
sanctified relics all over again.
Yeah. Well, you could trade them in trade, so you get the shaft of not being in trade, but
getting stuff like 2 max res or frenzies on hits. There's amazing stuff.
I haven't seen any of those things. I mean, I guess nor will I ever. It seems to be the case, but
it's 1 in hundreds to even see any of the rare
ones. There's additional strike was one of them also.
I think I've seen additional strike like multiple times, like 3 or 4 times, but like frenzy I got for the first time today. I think so. Yeah, some of them are really rare, but I would say that I have the same experience as Manni. Just don't think about those implant currencies. Just hope for the as it comes out of the box. It's good, then you use it.
And what has your guys' experience has been with the lavish womb gift, the currency ones?
It's kind of a love-hate relationship, because the Foulborn Exalted are amazing, and I wish I had more of those. Because there's just they're basically like PoE 2's
perfect Exalted right?
ops.
That's the same thing.
They're absolutely amazing. Every item I craft, I want to finish with that item. Like I wish I had 100 of them. But they're very rare, and everything else from the lavish seems super underwhelming. Like I sigh every time I use 20k blood and get nothing. But I feel like I do have to look for the Foulborn Exalts, because those are really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people got lucky and got their divines or even stacks of divines, but I have not had that experience yet.
Probably had
It's been
in
feeling pretty
total
bad for me.
like 10 divines. None of them went stacks, but
Really?
I've gotten, yeah, I mean, but that might be the pinnacle of anything for me this league. Like the tree is the best thing I've gotten from the tree all league is my 2-hand mace for my slam guy, which was 1150 PDPS, which is basically perfect, but it's like that's been it. Everything else in the tree has just been kind of disappointing. And it's objectively strong. I understand that because I'll see it print like damn near perfect ES bases or whatever, but I'm not using that, so it doesn't really help me, further like a necessary goal. I feel like for SSF specifically, to really capitalize on the tree, to a degree, you have to build something either with what it does in mind, or then swap to something that really could benefit from it. Because if you're using something that doesn't really benefit from the idea of having all the base crafts, I feel like you're not going to get the real value from the tree, which is just making all these tremendous rares as like the most accessible and easiest part of the tree. So I was trying to make a wand, and I ended up making like a 750 PDPS spine bow. And I'm not playing.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so now I'm just.
It's a bit like ROG, isn't it? Like you just end up
It's
getting
like
stuff
ROG
that is
on
really
crack.
good.
I mean,
like,
yeah. Well, it makes you want to re-roll. It's like, oh, maybe I'll play Thunderstorm now. But that's where if it's like you have to kind of go in with the intent. Especially this is only an SSF problem. You have to go in with the intention, I would say, of it's probably going to spit out something you didn't necessarily want, and it's very likely going to be way better than what you wanted, but for a different build. Like if I'm trying to make a mace and it makes a ridiculous sword, it's like, okay, so it's as long as you're willing to pivot, I think the tree is especially good, but you have to kind of go with the flow a little bit.
I mean, I guess if you talk about the weapons, that sure, but like I think like armor, you can like target kind of exactly what you want in most cases.
But what's
like,
the longevity of that experience though? Because it's say I'm level whatever 95. I make my evasion ES body. It's damn near perfect. I'm done. And now that
I mean, yeah, kind of gear part. Yes, I would agree with that. Like you get your basic, as a lot of people like calling them Reddit rares. Your res, your high T1 res, life movement speed boots or whatever, right? And you fish for very specific things then for different crafting projects, like, the fractures. But yeah, the gear part definitely falls off. But I would say like armor wise, like you can always print something for a new character, like like the basic, very high level gear when it comes to armor slots. But like weapons, I would definitely say that you can go for a ride if you wanna, especially look for like a specific melee weapon or something like that. I definitely would agree with that.
Yeah, I guess I seem to have all the reroll rares you're kind of describing. I made by accident day 3, like in full sets of them, and now I don't have a need for that anymore per se. And it's.
I mean, once again, yes. Then you just focusing on fractures. I would say, like, if you're looking for, I don't know, like a specific essence boots or like I don't know, some kind of specific. Once again, essence. Essence. I know. I would say that's the best example. But yet again, I'm trying to like someone justify it, but I also agree with you. Like, it doesn't last long. It is pretty shallow. So
yeah, well,
the system kind of fixes that by itself by having the different options. You can just always pivot into focusing more on the ancient womb gift or the lavish ones. So I think it's totally natural and intended that the gearing part falls off.
Well, this is exactly what. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when the pre-league podcast. We are basically echoing exactly what we said before, which was it should kind of fix itself. But yeah,
which is good. I mean, that's exactly how the system should work, and it's working as intended, which is nice. Like,
I guess we've established that there's nothing on face level wrong with the reward structure of the league. But a question I have, which is the most important question, because this is a video game that we play for fun, is how do you feel about the revamp of Breach? Because to me, it just doesn't feel anything like Breach. So I'm curious what you feel like. So Legi, how about you?
I mean, I've been calling this Blight, not Breach. I mean, it's for me, it's Blight. It's Blight in disguise with an NPC shouting in front of you, and like you just stand there. Like especially if you have a decent edge build, you just stand there like an idiot, hold the button. Not you cannot really do anything about it. I mean, that's my biggest problem with this. Is like Breach as a mechanic, what was it like before the rework? It was a high pace mechanic that you have to go around, like open the hands,
high speed, high octane.
Yeah, like high pace that you can influence, killing monsters, like opening the hands. That was the maybe annoying part, but like it's also fun in a sense, right? Killing a lot of monsters, not being interrupted by freaking walls, and they added walls, and you have to stand still instead, and you just defend an NPC. So for me, the best example I can give you is like if you compare it to like an MMO escort quest, like
God, it does feel like
how you approach this like Breach Blight hybrid, right?
It's
you
just escort
speak
missions.
to your NPC. First of all, you need to clear the walls. It's like faster now after a patch. So you clear the walls, which is the escort part. Then your NPC, goes to that designated location and it stands still and starts yapping the exposition, and then you defend it from incoming monsters in MMO. Like every MMO player know what I'm talking about. That's how it feels like it. Instead of it's just not good.
I didn't roll Spark the Nova by accident. Let's put it that way. It was because I walk in the middle of a breach and I place my cell phone on my fucking spacebar, and then I tab out mentally because that's the entire league for me. Is just that sort of like there's no I feel like no amount of skill or or gearing or anything allows for like a scalability of the experience outside of me just doing insert AoE skill here, which is fine. It's just it makes it incredibly one note. And then
one thing I would say is like I think they were just scared because this is like the current league mechanic. They didn't want to put it on a tree. Didn't want to put scarabs in, which I think was a big mistake in my opinion, at least. Like they should have put at least scarabs in, because like you cannot really personalize the experience. You cannot do anything with it. It just click the thing and it's there. Have fun.
If I'm in like doing an whatever Alkin Go type thing, and I find the breach 10 seconds in the map, I'm just leaving after that because there's nothing. I can't find a second one. It's like the value of the map has now massively decreased for me in a weird way because it's like there's only one. It's like doing a blight. Like, oh, I've done my blight. I'll just rather do the second map, and I'm going to increase my blades per hour. Because coming off of like, especially doing like high end breach evolution shrines, like it was like a triple hit because we lost those as well in a weird way. And it's like, oh, there's fucking 12 breaches in this map. Let's go, and now it's put cell phone on spacebar and look at chat. So I just don't like how there was literally a quote during the fucking Q&A where it's like, it'll still feel like breach where you're running around killing things in circles. Simply a lie. I mean, it's just, it does not feel like that. I mean, even the one that is breach-esque is still like 3 times as slow. I mean,
I've been trying to wrap my head around why it doesn't feel like breach, and I'm still not really sure. I think it feels scripted in some way. It doesn't have this like randomness to it anymore, right? Where you're on your edge trying to squeeze in like every single rare kill because every rare kill is going to have some extra breach splinters or some extra loot. Well, here I just look at the bar, and when it's like full, I wait in the middle for the boss to spawn, and it's always the same 4 rares and the same boss. And
it could be any
like
lieutenant
at all anymore.
It could be any lieutenant that just happens to always be Varun. But it could be any of them, I swear.
It's also extremely not difficult. Is it just me? Maybe I played
there's
lucky builds.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It seems like
17s, it feels the same. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, the breach monsters don't feel scary. Like the original breach monsters were so scary. Like doing a breach, especially back in when it was new, it was like the hardest content in the map.
Bug would come and kill you in your sleep.
You would get murdered. You would be terrified, but it also felt rewarding to kill them. And now it's they just feel like the absolute trash monsters, and they then generic loot, of course, is also almost non-existent. The blood is awesome, but
I don't know if it's just me, but I can't
looting,
spend
like,
my blood
almost
if I
nothing
tried.
feels
Like
bad.
I mean, it's because both my arms have increased blood gain, but like I can't spend it all.
Really?
Yeah.
I ran double blood gain, 48% or something the entire time, and I have tabs of extra gifts that I can't
None.
use.
My stash is empty.
I mean, same situation for me. I have like so many gifts I cannot use the blood on. Like,
it's crazy.
I don't know.
Is it?
when I
is it
focus
scaling
only on,
somehow?
say,
like I don't know.
when I focus only on ancient, of course they run out. But then I do lavish and mysterious and growing, and yeah, I have like a tab of each left at this point.
Yeah, I think I've got like
I mean, one person that I know as well, like that I seen run out of gifts, and she just has only blood, and it's like I don't know how it works, but it's kind of it happened to more people than Lighty. Like I know it because I've seen it with my own eyes. It's just it kind of happen. You can just run out of gifts if you like I don't know, don't do your bosses. Even if you do your bosses, like you might run out as well if you're like not focusing, like going for the double blood gain.
Are you looting
like,
all the
balance
chests
is
in the
kind of
fortresses,
weird.
Lighty?
Yeah, I'll do all the chests.
Because that drops a lot of extra gifts. But if you're doing those, I have no idea why you would run out. Like,
just
I can't even imagine running out.
DM, someone got a double Foulborn headhunter. And
damn.
So looks like the strength was replaced by the unique mobs within 120 meters have an icon.
Yeah, that's then, the new one they added recently.
Yeah, which does nothing. I love that. And then the headhunter thing has been replaced with the soul eater thing, which is questionable.
I mean, it's arguably worse, but it's pretty much the second best spell in the game. I would love
thankfully
to have
it says
one.
when you hit a rare and not kill a rare, so it does work, or unique, so it does work on single.
It's basically permanent soul eater. It's extremely good.
Yeah.
A normal headhunter is probably even better, but I mean,
it's something.
It's an awesome swap for bosses. That's why I want it. Use the normal one for mapping, and then put on the soul eater belt for killing bosses. It works against unique enemies too, right?
It does. Yes. Yes, it does.
But yeah, the feel of the breach feels like not breach, which is it's very sad, honestly, because like first when I seen first of all unfinished. First when I seen the mechanic, I thought it's gonna feel like breach, but like it's not. It's just not, which is I hate it.
No. But that aside, are you enjoying the patch itself? So there's like two other dimensions to the patch, aside from keepers. There's all the patch changes, and then there's the bloodline stuff. Have you guys been doing anything new using the patch or the bloodline things? Leggy?
Well, I'm playing a build around the bloodline currently.
I'll let Manni speak because he's been doing more.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
We'll never recover from this.
Well, yeah, I'm using the Herald bloodline, stacking Herald buff effect. I think it's the new the breach ring.
Yeah.
But like even on a Herald buff effect stacking build, you could arguably skip the ascendancy. Funny enough, it's not even that good. So yeah, they're very niche, pretty much as expected, I suppose. After seeing the previews of them, that's probably how they should be, though. They probably shouldn't be dominant because they're permanent, and any class has access to them. So if they would be overpowered and everyone would end up using like the same two bloodline nodes, that would kind of assimilate the game too much, right? So I don't really mind that they're very niche. It feels like some are kind of too carefully designed, and they will probably never be good. It's a bit of a shame. Overall, I like the system. Like more tools for in the toolbox to make builds is always cool, right?
Yeah,
I like it.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely been fun. I'm using on this Bark guy the feral hunt leader, the crit cats, which
those are generically very good.
I
could see them being nerfed because people put them on like every build, any build that needs crit.
Yeah, if you're critting and you're casting or attacking, they just let you do that a little bit better. And and they refresh themselves, which is the most important part, because that was the big concern when we saw these was I don't want to keep 5 cats alive, but thankfully they refreshed themselves. That one does seem to be generically good. I also was using early on in my slam character the hive one, whatever, the keepers one, like from the double boss fight. Yeah, that one seemed quite good also. So it was just I was taking 15% less physical, and I think I had lightning on because it's just the highest top end. It just felt generically good, and it made I was using the big slammy arms, you know, the big meat fists that come down. Those do a ton of damage. Not that it really matters if your build is remotely comparable, but it's fun, and they do twice as much damage there. And they stun, so like it was cool to see those just like wallop things.
Those hands carried me for the early game as well, from my pinnacle bosses and guardians.
Early on, honestly, the biggest part is the fact that they have a guaranteed non-mitigatable stun that works on bosses, which I don't understand how that they just have like
interrupting
super stun, but
phases and
they'll totally phase change boss, like prevent them from phase changing. It's really funny. Those are good. I think people kind of backtracking when people talking about the graphs, you know, the popular ones we saw were like the ones that give you endurance charge and life regen low, the molten shell one. Those are all pretty good though.
I want to mention, like, if we are going back to the graphs, I want to mention the jolt one that I'm using right now.
That the
like
lucky ground one or whatever.
No, that's not the one I'm actually using. It's the one that gives you more maximum top end damage, for example.
Oh yes,
so like
yes.
you stack the buffs and it stacks to 10, and you get like up to 30% more maximum attack damage, which can be crazy. Like to combine with the lucky one, for example, if you let's say stacking lightning damage, so you can like up it by 30, use like volatility, and then do the lucky type stuff. So there's a lot of power in graphs. Like I think we didn't really like give it full credit, like how powerful the graphs are. Graphs are absolutely insane. Like it's so much power.
We didn't really know them when we did our early podcast, but yeah.
They're pretty build specific though, right? I mean, like anything else, I would say like power level wise, mercs were much more open ended because the ores are just much more.
I mean, I think there's still a ton of borrowed power. There's almost no build I could think of that wouldn't want to use 2 of them. Like there's always good.
Oh yeah, even defensively, like the ones I said earlier, those just do good stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's what I'm running on my character right now. I'm running both of the guard skill crafts that just give me barriers of 1k life and 4k life respectively.
Yeah.
Pretty much doubling my effective health. It's great.
Yeah, they're definitely nice. I do wish the system to acquiring them was a little bit better, but I mean, do you think it'd be necessarily detrimental? I mean, so it might kind of feel like old waystones, but like if we could just craft them with normal currency, would that be busted, or would it just be a massive currency sink and that'd be okay? Because I can't imagine it would be too strong to just let us, you know, alteration whatever spam.
I feel like if they would allow crafting, they would nerf them a lot, and they would just feel like crafting another 2 flasks basically, where you just end up, you know, all spamming for that like 1 or 2 mods, and it feels pretty bad. I think having
better or worse than now though?
Corrupted is fine.
Yeah,
because we can actually make them powerful then.
Have you used the currency that corrupts the one you're using?
No. Because like the corruption implicits are pretty niche, and I don't really want any of them on my build, so I'd rather not delete my craft half the time. Yeah. But there's some really powerful ones, especially for attribute stackers.
Okay.
I could see myself using them on a future build, maybe. It would be extremely ambitious to hunt a good craft and then also 50-50 corrupted, because half the time it destroys it, half the time it adds a mod, and then you have to hit the right out of like 16 mods. Getting all of those things to align in SSF seems like a pipe dream. But I guess that's why they're allowed to trade them.
Yeah.
And then a stable implant is like pretty rare as well on top of that, right? So you have to RNG it to get the proper graft, and they get the implant, and they get another thing. So for us, I think it's, if you get it, then sure, build around it, but like it's a trade thing mostly. But yeah, some of them are super powerful. Very nice.
Nice.
Didn't realize before the leak how strong the generic like prefixes are as well. You can just straight up get 20% dot multi or a 25 crit multi.
I don't feel like we didn't realize that portion of. I just thought it was initially. I thought it was just the implicit applies, not the entire prefix set. which I think was not an uncommon thought that it was just the implicit applying, but it's the entire
I didn't
prefix
realize that
heading
either until we actually got to use them.
Which is why if your graph says 30% prod speed or whatever, that that's a super substantial amount.
It's almost like having another 2 joules in your build. That's how strong
it does make me, in a way, not want to play a lot of different builds though, because if I'm trying to go for a perfect, graft, I have to do it a certain way. But also the grafting tree, I would say, is not the most customizable for like.
That one seems very random.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're going to find a lot of. I mean, I personally have found dozens of pretty good grafts that don't really fit my build, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's just how they go.
I got a lot of offering trigger on offering ones that I've just not used a build that uses offerings that are like near perfect, but which that where it comes back full circle to being, I would say, good for SSF, because it might be, just like the tree gives you a little nudge to like, oh, I wasn't planning on playing minions, but I just found a +2 gem minion one and I have this really cool thing. Maybe I'll do whatever.
Yeah. The grafts are very similar to Sanctified Relics, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Where you might actually find something with building around like
an extra
strike.
Better, so I don't have to be in fucking Sanctum to get them. How about that? Although if I want to play a Herald stacker, I guess I have to do Sanctum once.
Yeah, I had to do my first Sanctum in years to ascend to the Bloodline.
And how has the Lycia Bloodline been for you? You said it was not super impactful, right?
It essentially just says you have more Herald buff effect, which is just more damage. It doesn't change the feeling of the build in any way. It's just number goes bigger. It doesn't even go significantly bigger. So
you seem whelmed. You seem whelmed.
Yeah.
So what you're describing is a scenario where if you just had enough damage from other sources, you might want to pick a more defensive, a more prominent bloodline. Like, I know we talked about it.
Another elementalist node would do similarly good.
I mean, that's the weird thing is I feel like a lot of the people I've seen playing using bloodlines are playing just like good ascendancies, and it just feels like, is this better than me just picking another elementalist thing? It's like, probably not. I mean, that's
kind of what the bloodlines should be, honestly, in my opinion. Because,
a decision, not an absolute.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A thought.
I mean, I'll give an example of how I use them, because for me, I think 3 of them or 2 of them. Like I used the Rage and Hit Oshabi for a bit.
Yeah,
it was very good.
I like that one also. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I was playing it. I was started as Read by Respect to a Wonder later, and I was using that for a while. Then I switched back to my Necro Ascendancy for Res, because I had bad gear, so I had to switch it off. But I got let's say a Glove implicit that kind of offset it. And then I'm playing a Farewell now, which you mentioned before. I'm a Wolf Summoner now.
Yeah,
finally a real Necromancer.
True.
Minion Andy, which is good. And I wanna switch to being a Turtle Spectre Summoner later. But
I've got my turtle.
I'm worried of losing my turtle, because if you switch some kind of gear on your character, which I want to
you just can't do it in town. You just can't do it in your hideout.
Yeah, it's super scary, so I want to do that as well. And also another thing is I maybe want to go all for
that's the one I'm looking at next, speed. Honestly, is because if I want to, I've got this mounted, I have 300-400 originator maps right now, and I want to work my way through those in 17s, and I don't want to, it just lets you roll 4 or 5 more modifiers by picking up Crystal King, really easily, and that is super enticing, to just not have to deal with petrification, any of that stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, on that topic, though, I haven't had the feeling that action speed, slow immunity is important this league at all. I've been doing a lot of 17s and memory
depends
maps.
on the build.
I've done my fair share, but with the absent of risk Arabs, they're so rare, they might as well not exist anymore. And the effect being lower, right? The map effect that we can stack.
I've been doing it on slams. I felt it.
Action speed slow, and I have.
If you're on a slow build, I think you feel it more. You're playing a.
I really felt the 3% action speed slow
per recent cast, whatever.
So, I suppose that one was always pretty build dependent. A build that casts fast obviously suffers more.
Yeah, I'm like attacking like 8 times a second and like shield charging, so it's like for my build, it's really bad.
Depends on what 17 also. If you're doing A bomb, then the boss fight naturally is applying action speed reduction.
I mean, for me also like the action speed,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like action speed, like reduction is also like affecting chill, right? So it can like not
Correct.
be chilled, right? So that's kind of what I haven't dealt with my on my build yet completely. So I would
just
like
put on a
to
winter weave.
change
You're
that.
good to go.
Or get a storm shroud or something that you cannot get because
It's true.
Yeah, right.
Manni, Legi's bullying me again. Telling him he's bullying me. I can feel it. It's a feeling. He's just bullying me. I don't know how yet, but I can feel it. It's a feeling. It's a feeling I get. Deep in my plums, I can feel it. He's bullying me. So speaking of,
yeah, go on.
I was just gonna yell at Manni. That's fine. Just gonna make fun of him having
me.
Well, yeah. You got a bone to pick with you. What did you get?
What's the matter?
Was it day 2 or day 1?
Both.
You're gross.
So on day 1, I ran one singular blueprint to see how rewarding they would be now that we don't have to level the rocks for them.
Turns out
there was a replica head in them. But they're very rewarding. Can recommend. Just after I finished my 4 void stones, I believe I did my logbooks that I had left lying around, and the second letter build I want to say of the league that I hovered over had skulls on it. So I've been playing Heaven since pretty much the beginning of the league. It's been great. I've never had this happen to me.
The reason I mention it is because, just so people know, everything Manni said, is now invalidated because he got lucky early on. That's how it works.
Yeah. That's why I said earlier when I said breach feels really easy to me, and I don't really feel like danger when I do breaches. Maybe it's just because I've been using a header since the first day.
No, there really is. Honestly, there was a large portion of spookiness in breaches. Was it day 1 or 2? And then they removed Soul Eater from the pool of mods that breach could have spawned with.
Right.
And that really, proc shield may be annoying. There's no real threat of like nullifiers, and like on death effects are kind of whatever. So without Soul Eater, yeah, that was the biggest threat. I will say objectively, if you're super squishy, the big fireballs, although they're like super slow, it'd be like comical to die to one. They do a lot of damage. So,
well, now that you mention it, those did kill me on the first day of the league.
Yeah,
that's about it. Me, but it's like
it's like getting hit by a car going 5 miles an hour. I mean, if that's kind of on you at this point. But I guess another pivot of difficulty, the boss fight. To me, the boss fight itself looks kind of cool. Mechanically, super disappointing. Thematically, disappointing because we were just missing 3 bosses, We went from having 5 bosses to now having 2 bosses. And
100% expected that you would get any combo.
Well,
I was going in and there was Ash and Tool, and then next one I enter, wait, it's Ash and Tool again. Enter the next one. Wait, Ash and Tool again. I'm so lucky.
You could get any breach lieutenant. Any of them. You can get any of them. They just happen to all be run, Just a small sample size.
Really?
Well, I suppose that's what we get in return for them sticking to the 4-month schedule.
Right. That's my gag amongst this.
I'd rather have that than a 10-month league, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, but it's lying though, because it's like we're gonna stay on schedule. Got it. Also, we're gonna half deliver, which is why we're on schedule. But it's not the same thing as being on schedule. If you're, gonna do things kind of half whatever. That's like it's funny because the rewards from the boss, I think, are actually really good. Like I think they're all pretty interesting. The individual rings have some minor uses. The combo ring obviously can be soft build enabling. The axe is incredibly popular right now for life stacking builds.
Yeah.
The gloves even are showing some use. So it's like all the items are good. But
pretty much the opposite of the new Uber bosses that we'll get to soon, I suppose.
Correct, yeah. We can talk about this now. I mean, you guys have any thoughts about the new boss fight or?
Probably the most disappointing part of the league. I've entered these new Uber bosses and they felt exactly the same as the normal version. And they're unique, so all pretty bad, it looks like. I think the set costs 1 chaos in trade to run an Uber boss. That's I think they should say the whole story already. They're not great.
Yeah, I hate them. Honestly, like the dread is okay, I would say this. The worst boss, dread, became better because it's faster and you can do something in the intermission. So it became better a bit. But they're super disappointed. Like, memes aside. I think
Uber
like they
Dread
did
I
really
actually
bad
don't
job.
mind. I think Uber Dread is kind of okay. Having these intermissions and actually fighting the other guys there, that feels like kind of like an Uber boss. But the other two, they're missing something. They don't feel like Uber bosses at all.
You're saying numerically they're so easy, or mechanically they haven't added enough to make. I haven't fought any of them. I have not left maps this league. I've just been mapping.
Yeah, they don't have any intermission mechanics or anything, which is kind of a good thing, but it also makes the fight feel very short. And even going in, I didn't go in on like some overpowered build that has hundreds of millions of damage, but still they felt way less tanky than any of the other Ubers while having no phases and also feeling way less dangerous. So yeah, they felt very underwhelming.
They probably have the same amount of life as the new breach bosses, because those guys have a fucking ton of life. The Toll and Esh fight, I think, has almost as much life as an Uber boss.
They're about as definitely as hard as Pinnacles at least.
Yeah,
they felt pretty hard.
So
a few times
of the new uniques, I mean, well, I say new uniques. You've got both the Whisper items are on Uber bosses, which not super surprised. That was like one of the scenarios we called was like they're gonna nerf them and nerf the drop rate, and then also put them on. Like that might happen, and it did.
Yeah.
Also, I guess an aside there, Coiling Whispers still works. Totally. They did add something really funny, which is I don't know if you saw the Foulborn Anathema, but it has a huge amount of reduced skill effect duration on it.
Yeah, it basically enables the ring.
You could just do both those, and it's still Anathema. So Anathema's a good ring, so that's fine.
Well,
Legi sent
it's not such a good ring when your curses don't do anything, because that's what solely the ring does. It makes your curses have no effect.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, it still has relevant stats.
Cast speed, yeah.
It has cast speed. It has int, so that's more than half the rings you're forced to use in the game for meme scenarios. But yeah, Whispers is still really good, still on there. And then the other uniques. So I'm assuming that the weapons are just the most rare things, because that's typically.
Yeah, they each have a really rare weapon. I don't know how rare exactly, but definitely very rare. And then they have one or two not so rare uniques, and none of those seem to be all that exciting so far. At least nobody has figured out how to use them.
Retaliation Shield, I've been seeing people kind of ham-fisting onto Eviscerate builds, but there's no point, because the Eviscerate builds were just using Svalens and already had, no problem proccing Eviscerate, but some people seem to be liking those. I haven't seen the bow used at all, which I was really interested in, but
I think the bow is
the retaliation. Sorry to cut you off, but is the retaliation shield the rare drop from the Uber? Because I didn't really look into it.
I don't know if it's a rare drop. I just know it is a drop off.
I don't think it's one of the really rare ones.
There's the sword and the bow, which I assume were like 2%
and
drops.
A poison cock dagger.
That was the other one.
The cock dagger, yes.
I really want to get the sword. For
the rare items seem interesting, at least, even though they're still not really all that of a chase. They're pretty niche still, but
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna hunt those this league.
I feel like the dagger is pretty interesting for me. Like I like the idea of the dagger. Like obviously poison it's like not what you want to be like in very late game, but I think it's like a very.
It's got a good secondary line, which I think I'm pretty sure is operating. Like it says that it triggers the socketed spells, but then I believe it just has on it as its independent line all spell damage poisons, right? As its own line, not just the ones triggered from the dagger itself, but just full stop.
I'm looking it up right now because I haven't looked at the dagger since the preview.
Because it's kind of the people who play assassin don't realize you might necessarily have to still get 100% chance to poison. But I'm pretty sure the dagger just says, much like an elementalist, your spell hits
all
poison.
Damage can poison with triggered spells only, though.
Okay, but not triggered from the dagger. That's my point. Is triggered full stop.
says generic triggered, yeah.
Yeah,
it should
so
be
that
any
could
triggers.
enable. I mean, it just lets you do things outside of the dagger per se.
Yeah.
That's something. It is funny.
There's also an amulet that has some weird suppression things on it that you had to read I had to read like 5 times to really understand what this would be good for. Definitely seems like it could have some use. It's the classic fully defensive, probably mostly a hardcore item. Because softcore players don't like to use the amulet purely defensively. Even stuff like Defiance of Destiny hasn't been that popular in softcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, amulet slot is like such a huge damage slot,
especially
for softcore.
End game trade, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, plus 4/8 gems. Like if you are, you know,
competing with a yoke simplex.
Oh, exactly. Or the Astrolabe. I'm so happy that Manni is using it.
Have you guys seen the Unseen Hue yet? The ring that has all damage or prismatic skills can sap or something like that?
Yeah. I didn't really.
So are there different variants of it? There are, right?
Yeah, there's a Brittle and Scourge versions.
Well, isn't that pretty good for elemental hits?
Well, I guess it depends.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Depends what you're doing.
But then you're playing a bow build, I guess. Well, not really.
I'm just saying that could definitely be a ring that becomes very meta. If,
it could. To me, it kind of feels like it's sharing a similar spot with like a Polaric Devastation, like applying Ash on hit. But it'd have to be a generic, if you're doing, like, it's a very specific subset of skills that could proc it, right? It's like only like the prismatic ones, so. How many things fit there? So Ellie hit of the spectrum. That's basically
it's pretty much only element. Yeah, that's the only skill I give.
Which, to be fair,
playing.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's one of the better
ones. Could always
be
new ones to add in the future.
Could be. It could very well be. Ellie Tornado.
New skills.
Ooh, yeah, Tornado's good.
New skills.
New skills? What?
New skills are dropped. Have you guys been using any of the new skill stuff?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I'm
using the wall.
The Fusillade looks interesting.
How's Force Wall
is being used, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm using the wall force because I'm playing a Kinetic Blast of Clustering. So like you don't hit it that many times with that skill.
Yeah.
You don't have that many projectiles. But it's okay. It's like you press it, you burst the boss a bit, and that's about it. It's like okay.
Do you have your is it the Rune Graft that is like super OP for clustering? That gives you like
obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that thing is insane.
So do you want to just go over real quick to the listeners, to all the cool kids on their soapboxes out there, what it does, the interaction?
Yeah, sorry for obviously just glancing over it, but like
he's bullying me again.
Kinetic always. So Kinetic Blast of Clustering is it just fires one projectile, right? So like it instead of like as normal Kinetic Blast, like with the number of projectiles, you like increase the number of projectiles, but for clustering, you increase the number of explosions. That's how the gem works. So only fire one projectile, and there's a rune graph that they added that says your skills chain and fork for free, but you only fire one projectile, but it apparently works with clustering. So it's like, oh, free chain and fork for 1 point on a pass tree. That's convenient. Very good. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And the Wall of Force is a new skill that had been added this patch, and it also has a projectile limit that can hit it, because like when projectiles hit the wall, they bounce off the wall and retarget the boss, ricochet from the wall, like reduce damage. But it has the limit of projectiles, right? So if you're only firing your one projectile from Kinetic Blast of Clustering, for example, that's kind of what you do anyway, right? So it's a lot more projectiles than with like other skills, like so let's say Tornado Shot. You would just fire once and it would completely disappear. So a very good synergistic skill with this kind of build, but I would say with only this build. Because for example, I made a Deadeye Kinetic Blast clustering, Kinetic Blast, just not clustering, sorry. POB before the patch, and like I included the wall in there, but like first thing I did after the patch and like wall was raised, I removed it from that build because it was just a waste of like useless. So yeah, very niche for very niche applications, but it can be good.
Do you have it in Spellslinger so it's automated?
No, I just use it by hand. Like it's really fast cast time, and especially on my Necromancer, you get like a lot of cast speed generically. So So it's like fine to just press it, even if you don't have any cast speed, actually.
So what led you to Necromancer for a Wander? Because I would say that's typically a non-traditional approach to Wander.
I went for Necromancer because they buffed what's in the Curse Pact Ascendancy. Like it's like buffed by 100% pretty much, so it sucks so much faster.
Yeah,
and that was like in a concept made by one of the creators, other creators, having Junk made a concept, and it seemed to be good. It's like very spammy on the screen. It's like very like tragic to use. Honest, like it doesn't look good, but it's pretty much 200% attack speed on a Witch Wonder, which is good.
So
because
you
like
are you
spell
using
your
you're consuming corpses through a Spellslinger setup.
Yeah, you do a Spellslinger setup with Bone Offering, so that gives you block and spell block through the other ascendancy. The offering affects you, and then you just consume it with Volatile Death of Seething, which consumes 10 corpses per cast, right? So pretty much the Spawn Desecrate, consume all the corpses, Spawn Desecrate, consume all the corpses. That's like, the main part of this working. So it just gives you a lot of power for the like attack speed part of the build, and then you can like scale.
What would you say you would need to get started playing that? It would be the trans gem for clustering, the seething part also, and then the graft.
It's funny part because like I was literally talking about it today with some chatters of mine, because like some people started it like as their first character and it done very well, and I didn't. I respected it with like good gear, so I don't have like my perspective on like starting.
Yeah.
The frame of reference exactly. But they were saying that it's very good. Like literally, you just get a 6 link from the tree, as we said, it's super free. Get the gem, and it like does the stuff. Like stack some mana, get some mana gear from the tree again, or like just get some basic gear with, and it's fine. Like it's gonna do your 4 stones. It is a good starter apparently. It's secondhand information, so I can't vouch for it, but I think on paper looks very strong.
Have you been uber bossing with it or no?
I mean, I did everything with the build. Like right now, my build is like super geared, like with disgusting gear, whispers, like mana stacking. Everything is there. But at least I did uber bossing on this build with like relatively, mid-tier gear. Let's call it that way for this league.
Yeah.
SSF mid-tier gear. So it's possible. It's not the best when you don't have good gear, like because like one thing about this build you need to know, it's you can't see anything. Like you get your kinetic blast everywhere with like 8 attack speed per second. You spam your offering, you spam your tornado. It's really like, okay, you're gonna see nothing. You just have to stick it in and like have some DPS to kill those Ubers.
Yeah.
So it's not a great build until you have good gear, but
pivoting to great Uber builds, then Manni, you're currently playing a Penance brand Herald stacker, and that's been pretty chunky for doing Ubers, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just classic Penance brand. It's one of the best bossing skills in the game. Just you attach it to a boss, it lasts like 8 seconds, keeps getting stronger and stronger. So mechanically awesome, and the numbers are good. At least in the Herald stacking package, since we have there's 2 physical heralds, Ash and Purity, that heavily scale it on top of the hive itself, giving generic more damage. So it feels like playing an aura stacker almost, because we get so much power just from our reservation skills that we could put almost any skill on. I could swap to Blade Water, I could swap to Tornado of Turbulence, Divine Ire. Any of these physical spells would I could just 1-for-1 swap that in, and it would still kill Uber bosses pretty handily, I'm sure.
Yeah. Just because you have so much, such a variety of scaling basically coming in through.
Yeah, the power of stacking these Herald buffs is very strong. And haven't even, there's these tattoos, right? They give Herald buff effect. And you could potentially use like 20 of those, but I haven't seen a single one yet. There's so
those are hard to find.
But there's so much more potential. It's wild.
So what
you can essentially make these Herald, like how they typically have 20% physical texture fire, for example. I'm almost quadrupling that right now. So it's 72% or something added fire. And it could go up to 100 if you actually had all the tattoos and everything. So you could quintuple the effects of your heralds. Like it's an amazing amount of physical scaling between that and purity. And the Herald of the Hive itself just gives generic more damage for each herald you have, which also scales with buff effect. So this gives me currently 10% more damage for every herald I have, and I have all 6 of them.
All the heralds.
Just tons of numbers.
All the heralds all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I do want to build that.
You're trying to make the build as well, right?
I am. I have gotten currently, I'm 2 out of 3 Awakener orbs for making my items to get the Astrolabe going, but I've currently, I seem to have a horrendous personal drop rate for Awakener orbs, so I've 30-something Cirruses in, and I've gotten 2 orbs, which is exactly like last week.
You can just equip a yoke or anything else, really. The
I don't have a yoke.
Really that important. Oh.
Just like last week, it took me 60 fortresses to get 1 yoke, so it we're not quite there yet.
I think I dropped to my first or second one.
Yeah, we're playing on different clients. It's the German client really just doesn't come through for me the same way. No, this has been by far my worst league ever in Path of Exile, full stop. Not for any sort of progress, but just for things happening. I've had nothing.
RNG wise?
Literally nothing. Yeah. It's just an absolute dud of progress, which is fun. But that's okay.
So,
I'm just
you don't get in 3 Nims and a Headhunter in a day.
No.
That's how the game works.
Seeding my RNG for next league, seemingly. Or
the good one, right?
Maybe the next PoE2 league I'll have the last PoE2 league, which can't really call it a league because it's not even a real game, but within my first Waystone I got the Perfect Jewelers, the 5 and the 6 link one in the first map, which is crazy for that game, but unfortunately doesn't do diddly shit for me here. So, but no, I'm trying to build the thing. I'm just 30 plus divines into this helmet, making 0 progress there. I'll start playing it once the helmet's done, but yeah.
Speaking of different builds, did you think about any other fancy builds with Foulborn Lighty? Because you are usually the person that does every single build with every single item.
I try. I've been looking at Foulborns, and there's really not many of them have been shouting at me like, this is so cool to make its own thing. There's a couple of Foulborn uniques seem objectively quite powerful, but they don't seem to be creating their own archetype or anything. So like the Foulborn Ghost Writhe, I think is just a ridiculous amount of EHP to gain. It says that your max ES is equal to half of your life, straight up. So if you have 10,000 life, it gives you 5,000 ES, which just seems like a lot, right? So things like that seem quite powerful. I was trying to get the Embalmers, the ones that had poison prolif, but I haven't hit one. The Impending Doom helmet someone named. So like that's a good example of that's good, but that's a worse version of an existing item, which is in a nutshell, you'd rather have the 35 Impending Shaco. So like that's already existed. That's just a budget friendly version of an existing thing, So I haven't seen anything where it's like this Foulborn is gonna do this whole new crazy thing. I'm sure they're out there, and I've been looking, but I really haven't found anything, unfortunately. If anyone from chat knows any Foulborn builds that have been like something new,
One thing I wanted to mention is the build I seen someone do it is the Yulnatul Axe with the 500% war cry CDR. Like I've seen some people do
Battle
like
Mage
a champion with sorry?
No, keep going. I just want to hear it.
I just a normal slammer, but with this axe and spamming Warcrest on non-berserker or non-slayer, so you don't have to spend ascendancy points. Like we can be more defensive, and it's just very good for that.
I saw that axe. I have one of them. The problem, my thoughts on that is, why the hell would I use that when you could get 1,000 PDPS weapons this league quite easily? That was just the one thing I couldn't get around, is like the benefit of having higher Warcry CDR is nice, but it didn't seem to net you anything positive versus just using a weapon that has 2 to 3 times the PDPS, Like I couldn't figure it out to be like.
I mean, you can slam, like always have exerts on characters that like you can go champion, for example, or even elementalist with that, like ignite and stuff like that. So it is very enabling for some builds, but like you are just not locked into Berserker, for example,
Sure,
which is fair. You can just play Berserker. Sure, it's still insane. Like slams are super good, but I think like that item is very surprising for me because as someone in
yeah,
chat
it's a large
said,
amount.
like,
It definitely is something there. I was thinking that I thought you were gonna say something like Battle Mage Cry, like somehow using it for like a caster spam thing.
I mean, I'm just gonna go for something that I seen. Like for me, like I found out Axe like day one in trade and was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I didn't think much of it because like obviously it's a slow weapon that's kind of not great. Like looking at like Giga Fizz weapons, right? But it can make a non-specialized slam build, like slam assassin in a slam build, which is cool in my opinion.
The one I did see, which I haven't seen personally, but I saw from one of the Foulborn previews, is the Val Caress gloves. The gaining adrenaline on using a Val skill. That seemed not too hard to kind of do depending on the Val skills. Like having an adrenaline button like that. Because it's already a pretty okay item, especially because you could put in, triple Val or purities, etc., or Val discipline, and then you just get the benefits of the regulars. So it's like you can reaching easy level 26 on triple purity discipline. And then just having access to some Val spam thing. It gives you like high adrenaline uptime. That seemed kind of something. But yeah, I mean, most of them weren't shouting at me as being like, I guess that's another kind of strange complaint, I guess, is they kind of, I won't say went out of his way, but Mark definitely mentioned multiple times that these Foulborn items were like handcrafted, right? They were going one at a time and making them and not just like propagating them, filling slots, etc. And I'm not going to say I don't believe that, but if this is like what was made from handcrafting, hundreds of these, I mean, they just don't look like.
I mean, there's a lot of misses in there for sure, but I feel like there's a decent amount of usable items in there that have their niche that are far better than the original version.
Sure.
Like I've seen I'm just going from my own stash right now, just from the ones that I've personally found. Notice the Voice of the Storm, the lucky damage that we've used on the Ephemeral Edge. That one got its useless mana removed and now it just says +3 max lightning res.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have killed for that amulet.
Sure.
2 leagues ago. That is just a +3 max res.
That's something we didn't mention either, is the Ephemeral Edge rarity tier change.
Yeah, it's a tier 0 now, right?
That's a real fuck you, because it was, people were asking me early, like day 1 or 2, how do you get Ephemeral Edge? And I was telling them to do the Ancient Orb thing, and I was basically just lying to them because it was impossible.
Nice,
like you were never gonna
nice. You're straight up lying. Good
I mean,
job,
it could work. It went from being a 1 in 10 to a 1 in probably 10,000 out, and I could make that hit. But it's just like, I kind of wish they just would have, I guess it's the same thing with the Ubers, but like the repercussions are really disastrous for some players where they don't announce anything. If they just put one line in that just says the drop rate of Ephemeral Edge has been adjusted as a one line, just a courtesy line, because it's people spent multiple divine trying to make Ephemeral Edges in trade or their resources in SSF, and they just quit. Like, I just know a guy who quit. He's like, I just spent 20 divine trying to Ephemeral Edge and I can't hit one, and I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
like,
memes aside, I 100% agree with you. I think this is like honestly unacceptable. I know that GG does that every time. They don't announce any drop rate changes like intentionally, but
it's such a fuck you. It's all like, just again one like
if
we could play like the game, like play the dance of that. They don't have to say Ephemeral Edge is a T0. They just have to put the line in that says something like, we've adjusted the drop rate of whatever, And it's like, oh, wink, wink, understood.
The perfect example was the freaking gloves from Exile last league.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They were common. Let's make a champion build. Like, we are excited about champion rework. Let's play a champion early, and like 1% from Uber. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I know. Yeah, it's so fucked. It's not just SSF. It's again, this, like I'm describing a scenario where people were buying Ancient Orbs in trade to try to get their, Ephemeral Edge was unironically like what, a tier 2. So it was like you could have it be part of your starter build, no problem. Maybe not the RT variant, but just it would not be crazy to be like, I want to start with Ephemeral Edge, and now it's just like, nope, shit. Just like, too bad, so sad.
Yeah, really.
Since you asked earlier about like possible builds to like look into,
yeah,
one thing that is pretty cool is how we can kind of make our own original sin now, because now there's the Lucy Ascendancy converting half of our elemental damage to chaos.
Yep.
And then there's a Jewel as well that allows you to convert the other half.
Yep.
The Foulborn Nightmares. That could be something that you usually can't play in SSF, but now you could make that like full chaos strength stacker kind of build.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Or others as well, maybe. Anything that used original sin before.
I'm not sure what... I didn't really see any builds that were using original sin that weren't just existing versions of XYZ stacker that just put it on because it was better. But I definitely could see that being a more accessible mold that people break into now, because it just... No one was buying original sin on a lark to try a meme build, you know? But you could absolutely just go Lycia to be like, let me see if I could make whatever, you know, a thing.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd rather buy an original sin IRL than, you know, do one Sanctum. But I'm just a cranky little boy. I don't like Sanctum.
You don't like Sanctum,
I don't like Sanctum.
I've seen a lot of like people in trading use like Foulborn Unix like in build enabling stuff. So that's why I like brought up this topic more, because we like didn't really mention it too much.
I can look at my stash. I'm not sure if there's anything that's going to peek out.
There's a couple of jewels that are crazy.
Yeah, so many jewels, so many actual items as well, like armor and weapon items. I think, in my opinion, like those Foulborn Uniques are a great success. Like as much, I think the league feels very whatever, like very mid in my opinion.
I just want to make more.
How the
I just want to make more of them.
I think the uniques are really good, and one reason I feel like why people like are not too hyped about it, because they kind of didn't really do any balance on the characters that much with those uniques. Like they were saying, oh, those uniques will be build enabling, like you can build, you know, exactly like new builds, new archetypes, everything is like so good. Like you can be so creative, but like the skills are still the same kind of. So you're gonna play kind of the same skills.
Yeah,
the balance it's like it's pretty iffy on that front. So like that's why I think it's like it's very undermined, like how good those uniques are, in my opinion, in a sense.
Okay, so I found, I guess, two that I would say are cooler than not cool. The Coming Calamity, I have a double Foulborn. That's increased Herald of Buff Effects and Lone Messenger. That's kind of
cool. A brick to have both.
It is. But, you know, the other one's good. You can get the Herald Buff Effect and something else is better, but you can get just the fact that it exists. That's kind of cool. The Zoph's Nurture, so the bow, the big bow. This one's kind of cool because it's supported by Ignite Prolif, and then this one has all damage can ignite. So it's like a 7 link with all damage can ignite. That's kind of
but
cool.
The advantage of that is using a triple ele bow, but now using
correct
this bow anyway. So
you don't have to sell me on it. It's I'm just.
I see an Oppressor in your stash. The Oppressor is
Oppressor is exactly.
Oppressor could be good, but you have to get the double Oppressor. If you don't get the double, I feel like it's not.
You don't
good.
have a double down there?
No, I've only ever gotten the single, and it still has the 20% damage from blocked, so it doesn't really help.
Okay.
There's
a +4 cold spell one.
Foulborn. Yeah, I've got
best
those.
in slot for any cold dot build.
Yes,
I don't know where it is, but I got a couple of them.
Speaking of cold dot, if you've seen the Rathbith globe with the
that one is insanely
strong. It's like all these cool ones are so fucking rare. Like I haven't seen any.
Welcome to Pub of Exile.
I know.
So that's why I think like it's been honestly a good success, like great success.
This is secretly a terrible SSF league in disguise. It looks like it's a good one because the tree. It baits you into thinking, oh, I can get all these good rares. But then you're like, I want to play with the cool Foulborns, and you'll never see them.
I mean, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Unlucky.
I'm sure you can do some crazy stuff with the Foulborn on Natural Instinct, but I haven't really looked too much into it.
See you during Christmas when you get one.
I mean, you could probably do crazy stuff with
Might of the Meek also is pretty
jewels,
cool. Yeah.
Where you like Telic and Hubris turn the notables into like big nodes and then pick them all up with the Unnatural Instinct. Maybe around the sign area or something. Not sure.
Yeah, I think Unnatural Instinct is like the most broken Foulborn unique ever. Like literally, I think it's the best one.
It's what is that right side spot also is pretty. Even just generically putting in the shadow spot by the charges is absurd. Like for 2 points.
Yeah, it's actually absurd when you put it. Yeah, just get some charges. You know, in infinite life, it's crazy there. In
yeah,
the shadow spot.
that's honestly that's my. So we didn't really talked about it, but I assume we're all, if not done, pretty much done with getting our quote unquote league uniques. The Breach Keeper one. They're very easy to get in general. But
thanks for bullying me.
You're welcome.
Like that.
I'm a big bully.
I still don't have one ring. I've done 50 bosses, don't have a Ash ring.
You got to go to Mount Doom and get the one ring, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, probably, but
aside from that, the only thing keeping me in League is obviously Foulborn uniques and the hope that I get to play with the fun ones. Because otherwise, I'd just be in standard doing Uber bossing. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
Maybe found some womb gifts.
I'm gonna farm so many womb gifts for all the great womb things I'm getting. one day I'll get a womb. That'd be really great. A womb with a view. It'll be perfect.
It's a shame there's still so many non-Foulborns you get. Even when you go for all the nodes that increase Foulborn chance, oftentimes you just end up getting a bunch of normal uniques and you're like,
it's like
kind of bad.
If I put in an ancient, right? Which again, like I personally am seem to be getting milked on, but if I put in an ancient, okay, and I see one non-Foulborn unique pop out, I cry. Like that's just, it's so sad to see. It's like I've spent a half hour, I've gotten one ancient, and now I get one non-Foulborn built at the Deceiver. Even just doing a keeper mechanic in a map and not getting a gift to drop is like brutal.
One thing I think what happened was like the Foulborn uniques were much more common from the like Fortress boxes, like day 1, day 2, like even day 3, I think, and they patched it out.
You're on Team Shadow Nerf because I'm on the same page. I was getting so many more the first couple days.
That's the Shadow Nerf team. I'm on it definitely. It's like you were getting so many.
I'm still getting them regularly. I remember getting 3 in my first one. I was like, oh my god, they're shitting out Foulborns, and then I didn't get another Foulborn for like the next 3 fortresses. It was always bad.
I don't know.
That's changed at all.
I think Manny's up to no good.
Like
you can't get a double Foulborns in the fortress anyway. And those
you cannot.
Some of them are kind of mandatory, like the Respite. We didn't talk about that one. The Foulborn Barracks Respite is one of the most insane ones of the Foulborns.
The explosion one?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's that insane, or is it just insane when it's double?
It's insane when it's double. And then specifically you need to be either an Elementalist or have the Astrolabe or similar for the all damage can shock and the all damage can ignite.
Yeah.
Because then they become the equivalent to Fizz Explosion, just chaining off each other. But they have 100% proc rate. It gets pretty silly.
Yeah.
I mean, on the explosion train also, like there's a Witchbane that
one's
that explodes.
2 point profane's pretty wild. That's
yeah, exactly. It's really, really, really good one. So, I mean, there's so many good things. Like even like the what's called the Foulborn Inspired Learning. Like it's as same as Unnatural Instinct works like other way. Like nothing can be allocated. So I think that's really good as well. Obviously, like early on.
Are you finishing a helmet right now, Lighty? I see it.
I've made one more step of progress. I did get hypothermia and I did knock off the other suffix, and I have to do
another suffix. Now.
I am, but I'm out of divines, so I have to get more beasts. I'm out of yellow beasts, so I have to go get more beasts now.
Well, the beast doesn't help. You actually have to spend divines here, right?
No, I just do suffixes can't be changed and reforge crit, and that's a 50-50. I hit crit versus attack.
Yeah, but you need divines for it. You can't use a beast to replace the divines.
What are you talking about?
A matron? Or
No, I have matrons. I just don't have yellow beasts. But I have to put on. It has open suffix. It has open prefix. I have to put on suffix. Can't be changed.
Yeah, you just need to put the craft on for 2 divines. I'm confused. Why do you need beasts?
I don't have 2 divines. I have beasts, but I don't have yellow beasts. So I could get a free suffixes can't be changed.
Well, it's not free though because they're an open suffix. You might get a prefix can't be changed or similar.
Correct. But that'd be
you
faster to
cancel
get Yellow Beast than it would be to get one more Divine out of nowhere. I mean, I could go hand in my
You're gonna
lavish.
need those
Divine
matrons,
anyway, yes. Or
beast in the next steps.
correct, yes. But I think I've got like 10 or 20 currently, because I did a bunch. But
okay.
But no, I'll go use regular Divines. That's
Right.
what Manni wants, that's what Manni gets. He gets his regular Divine craft.
Just there's the Sanctum mechanic that is pretty good for Divines.
Sanctum stinky. Okay, I did get one Divine from the tree. You're right.
I entered Sanctum on my build a couple days ago. Did one floor and deleted the book.
Oh man,
because
that's
I
good.
cannot see anything on the floor.
I just saw you
in
use
Sanctum.
one gift in getting a Divine. I haven't seen a Divine in days of using those gifts.
Yeah, because you keep complaining. It's just nothing but complaints out of you. This is what
It's
happens.
not as lucky as you, Lighty. What can I do?
What can you do? Look at my little shrimp head. It's just that shrimple. Someone was asking what my other Spectre was. It's a perfect meat sack, and I use him because he's got a cute little butt.
No way.
Yeah,
He's actually using a beat sack.
yeah, he's got a cute little butt. He's got a
You
cute
share
little
the
butt.
same haircut too.
Hey, look at his little butt. Wow, you said we have the same haircut. He's bald. The turtle's beautiful. I mean, the problem is you get 2 Spectres, right, from having a 2020 gem. And I thought, who would my little turtle friend want but a little butt man? So now I've got a little butt
How
man.
about a friendly second turtle?
Well, I did also have, which is probably actually good, I could just put in a perfect Forest Warrior and have Perma Onslaught. But, you know, I chose the little butt because that makes the perfect sense. But anyway,
Amazing.
moving on from Foulborn Uniques. Are you guys playing the last build you're playing this league, you think, or are you going to be doing more stuff?
It could be a 1 character league for me. Because I'm still on my starter character, I just respect it. But having a blast on this character, and it looks like a pretty short league with early December PoE2 coming up. So
Yeah.
could just be 1 character for me, and then maybe come back after PoE2, because this seems like a great league to start fresh in. The early progression with the tree felt really fun.
Yeah.
Could see myself doing that again, maybe.
Oh,
This
boy.
attack block. Attack crit there.
I know. It's great. It's the wrong one. Isn't that beautiful? For all
for me,
my attack build.
I am in somewhat similar boat as Manni, as in I league started a character and then respected. But I literally got a free Nemesis today from the Voidborn Reliquary Key.
Jesus Christ, you're gross.
So I'm like, okay, I kind of want to use it. So I'm thinking about remaking my Omni Scion from last league, the Explodey Wonder, once again. So I'm kind of happy to maybe remake that. So, but except that, I don't know. It's kind of similar vibe to Manni. It's like, oh, like this league is better, whatever. Maybe like fresh start later, or just farm the uniques on the current character, which is good enough now.
You've had a
Endgame.
1 patch, right? Like 1 real patch this league, which was it's a big one. It was a massive amendment to the league mechanic, effectively solving most of the technical complaints, I would say. Sans 1. They added walls to Fortress, which to me is just a nerf, but I guess some people wanted that. But
I don't know. Like, that's the worst part. Like, funny thing is, like, I started complaining about it. Like, I ask known, like, people that I know that play, like, RF or, like, some weird build. Like,
I haven't met a person who's like, this is better for me.
Exactly. Like, this was supposed to be like, oh, this is easier for people with worse builds because the mob's going to be funneled.
Them?
Every single person I ask, like, specifically, it's just worse. Like, who made this?
I mean, I was playing Flicker before, and then I'm playing Slam. So that would you're describing what would have been me probably. And the walls massively break line of sight, and the enemy can just simply attack through them half the time or from the edge. It's just
so
worse.
bad. And
I
for
think
like
if
KB players like me, I just get tilted. So,
yeah, it was
good one, GG.
Aside from that, though, the other whatever changes they made, like the burning of the walls, that's better. The option to 5-to-1 womb gifts, that's better.
Gaining more blood was the biggest thing for me.
Gaining more.
I didn't.
It definitely. I mean, the number they said was just false. I think they said it wrong because they said 50% more, but I think they meant 50% additive onto the initial amount of more we have, because I definitely am not getting. Like, if I was getting 1,000, I'm not now getting 1,500. I'm not getting close to that number. At high levels.
I've had some really, like, I had them 1700s, 1800s sometimes when I had double draft for increased blood gain and ran into 17 map. It definitely scaled with quantity too. That's pretty much confirmed at this point. So running the really juicy strats helps a bit.
What is the really juicy strats? Because I think this league more than most people are having a hard time. So like, what do you mean by really juicy?
There isn't much left. Well,
okay.
I should have said running high quantity maps such as 17s and 8.
What do you currently you have?
Juicy strat wise, there isn't really much this league. Is
there anything you're doing that's
reason I'm not really looking
substantial?
forward to making more builds or whatever, because I don't really feel like I need to get any stronger right now. I can already do anything there is very easily.
Yeah.
There isn't there is maybe Pandemonium Titanic that I haven't tried yet, but since the Scarabs are so hard to farm this league,
it's true. I think I found 2 Pandemoniums this league.
2 maps a week, yeah. So even if there are some high-end strats, they buffed Legion. There's a cool Legion strat now.
With the ghost ones, or the releasing ghost thing?
Yeah, you release the ghost over and over from the Legion.
I tried that personally, and I did it in a tier 6 or 7 map, just whatever to get to the breakpoint of like belts dropping. Because I was like, this is probably going to get out of hand really, really quick. And after like the 4th or 5th release, like I lost the map. It was because the new Titanica Legends also adding twice as many modifiers to things. That was pretty wild. But this was like, they were extra cranky. I mean, which is fun. That is something to work towards. But then I guess to your point, it's like, that's the how, but then what's the why? So like you could do that, but then to get what? And for what? Just to do it. That would be it.
To hunt tier 0s, I suppose, but they don't really drop that often still. No. They're not as rewarding as you would hope for how rare the Scarabs are and for how strong your character would have to be. I assume it's going to be the same with the Pandemonium Titanic. I haven't tried it yet, but I don't expect it to be.
I tried it with Exiles. I did one with the post-patch. Even just having twice as many rare modifiers and the toughness scaling, it was like, it felt pretty chonky. I mean, as expected. I couldn't even imagine doing that in like 16s or 17s. You'd have, but that's like you would need the gear to farm the gear at that point. Like you would already need to be so deep. It's like you'd be looking for a mage mod, but you'd already would have to have one to be able to do that comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, there's also been some ideas floating around after the patch with meat sacking potentially being back.
But I've got him as a Spectre.
Meat sacks earlier in the league, where it's insanely hard to do these strats in SSF, however, because the all flames are limited.
Yeah,
but they were cheap to buy in trade. I've seen people do all flames early on, where they were looking. They spawned meat sacks in their maps, and then were looking for the all
ghosts,
flame, the petal skill. The petal skill.
Yeah.
There's like 2 or 3 that are very good that add extra loot to them or make them drop no.
There's the 200% convert one. Yeah.
Basically turns them into feral all flames,
yep.
So they only drop gems and scarabs and currency. There's some potential there.
MP was talking. I saw something about the blight lane juicing still works with the blight part or no, or which one is it? Or blue?
Blight is actually really good.
Yeah.
That could even be good for us on SSF because it is not that hard to pull off. You still need a pretty good character for it, but it's not like absurdly hard.
Yeah.
The idea is where you there's this blight scarab called Invigoration that makes empowering towers buff the enemies as well. Not just your own towers, but it buffs the enemies and makes them more rewarding. And then you just spam those towers everywhere and go for the annoyance to make them bigger, and then you have tons of them overlapping onto the same lane of enemies. And
big old explosions.
You just have I've done it for like 10 maps the other day. One map was incredibly a huge outlier, positively speaking. It ended up dropping so many maps that I used all my 6 bottles just to carry out maps out of the map.
Yeah.
So I had a full inventory of just Shaper
Guarding. It picks one like item type, right? That it drops a large stack of?
No, it didn't drop from the sack, just the loot exploding depending on the monsters.
Oh, okay.
So I had a massive map. I used the Bloodlines scarab to add extra modifiers to the magic monsters in the blight, and had a Bismuth spawn. and my map had like 300% more map drops, and I got some map dupe alter, I think, and some quantity, and
it all just lined up.
Yeah, I had like 6 Abominations drop and 100 Shaper Guardian maps from the Conversion Scarab, and the amount of uncorrupted maps, I had to hide them on the field. There was too many.
And you just have to have tremendous single target effectively to do that, right? Because you're gonna.
It's not that bad because it's not the strategy that spawns the blight bosses.
Yes.
It's really just about spawning a bunch of magic and rare monsters, mostly magic monsters. So it's
explosion should help a ton with that also,
hard.
right?
Yeah, any explode build can do it pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
The version that spawns the unique bosses is absurdly hard.
That's what I was referring to. That's like
I think I can pull that off.
They have something like double, triple Uber boss life because it's like Blight Ravage, so they're going to have just a tremendous amount of life, an otherworldly amount of life.
And you can put Titanic Scarabs on to give 4 modifiers to them and whatnot, and then it gets silly. Yeah,
the new Titanic Scarabs are really funny.
Of
Legends, yeah. I see me doing something like that, maybe a low level stuff. It could be fun.
The Scarab changes are cool. Like, I would say it's very positive patch. Like, I had a lot of naysayers day one after the patch, but I think the patch was very, very big positive for the league and like big amendment to like biggest gripes that we had.
Yeah.
And they like did something with Scars because they just didn't have time. So they gave us something because people were like literally crying about or something like, this obviously so because they removed like Abyss, Evolution, like removed half of the map effect. There's like a lot of nerfs, but they wanted to give us something back, so that's okay, I guess. But I would say the patch was positive in my opinion, like the blood, especially as Manni mentioned, was good. But it's still not enough, unfortunately, for me at least. Like, I mean, they said they're gonna like address some endgame issues next patch, so we'll see about that. But still, not the greatest. Feeling good.
Yeah, it's an awkward state right now where I feel like the loot is just coming from league mechanics. We have one of those leagues where the global loot doesn't matter much, and then league mechanics can't be scaled nearly as much. And I can only get so much loot out of a Genesis tree. It doesn't really matter how crazy my character is or how much I use my map. It's just going to be 1,000 blood per map.
Yeah.
Or similar to other farming ritual or something. It's never going to scale past using the scarabs. It's a bit of a shame we don't have one of those strats where you can just make it so absurdly hard and rewarding that the game breaks, like we had in past leagues, like Affliction or the ritual exiles and so on. But since there's been so much complaining about it, I'm pretty positive we're going to see some
pendulum swing the other way next league.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be overcompensating probably.
I mean, we'll see. I'm actually completely the opposite. I'm expecting changes because they literally said they're going to be changes, but I'm not positive at all. I think they're going to fuck it up. Like, I'm really negative about it, actually. Because, like, in my opinion, like the loot is like such a huge redesign. Like, the ground loot and like in the tire loot that we are talking about, like, the guaranteed league mechanic loot. I think it's like monumental.
Too big of an undertaking for them to do. The one thing that makes me think it's not going to be happening next league in a large way, and we're probably going to get a video and 2 months from now about how it's just they're not. They wanted to do a big loot redesign, but they're not going to have a chance to. Is because it's the PoE 2 league launch, like on Christmas, and I just think that's going to be all every single hand on deck for that versus anything else.
I'm usually very optimistic, right? I just said how I'm optimistic for the next patch just there, but this PoE 2 launch on what looks like to be December 12th, most likely, it worries me a lot. I feel like it might be a shit show.
Yeah.
Them being on vacation until like mid-January, and there will be certain fires that can't be put out, and it's a recipe for disaster. I hope they manage it well.
Yeah. Well, one could pray. So overall, I would say we're pretty positive about the league, but there's just, the obvious issues, whatever, that are like the overarching ones. And there's going to be some things that are going to keep you guys playing, but, maybe not to the extent because you can't juice as much or whatever. Do you have any sort of plans for maybe after PoE is done, or any other games you're looking forward to playing there? It's like, after you finish your build up, finish your fun, this new thing's coming out, anything like that?
I mean, there's this game called P.O BoX Exile 2 in December that I'm going to be playing.
Did you play a lot of that in the previous patch? Like the current one?
I've mostly skipped 0.2. 0.3 I've played a fair amount. I ended up stopping out of sheer performance issues, really. I was not having a good time with the FPS in Abyss.
I couldn't even map.
Fingers crossed.
Really.
They're gonna
technically speaking, I couldn't map. I was in maps day one, and I couldn't map. Like it just didn't work for me.
Just performance.
It was like 5 to 10 FPS, and like I was being like stutter stepping everywhere. I just couldn't. Yeah, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Flawless in the act, and then just couldn't map at all. Not to mention my build technically had 4 different bugs with it, but that's aside the point. But so you're gonna be playing the next one. I'll be playing the next one, as always, reluctantly. And Legi, you're yeah.
Act 4 was great. Looking forward to playing that again.
You liked Act 4?
Me playing a short run on PoE2. We'll see what they do about the end game and the performance.
Act 4 looked cool.
Fingers crossed.
But that's something I don't really care about after the first time I do it, personally. You know? It to me it took the longest.
It has good replayability because you can like change the order of it and so on. And I've only played through it once. I didn't make any extra characters last time. So.
To me,
it's still pretty fresh for me.
It looked cool. I didn't really care for the epilogue either, but that's temporary content. I didn't like the last boss. I don't care for the spoiler, but the last boss fight just was 3 phases with no checkpoints. And I didn't die, but I did crash twice. I had to redo it, and that was just not very fun. But to be honest, like, I mean, a third of my complaints are technical complaints, but the game is just technically has a lot of problems. So hopefully those get ironed out at some point. The early gearing and itemization to me felt substantially better, going from 0.2 to 0.3.
The Abyss crafting was great.
Yeah. For me, as one of the bigger naysayers about PoE2, I played a bit. Like I played to like level 90 something in the previous patch. And I enjoyed the league quite a bit, actually. I think PoE2 Abyss was like one of the best league mechanics that they done ever. Like,
well, it really feels like they spent a lot of time and effort on it.
It does.
It
does, yes.
Is for me, it's a big old backhanded compliment because I see where the time and effort is going, and it's not in PoE1.
That's exactly
it's
how
right
I
into Abyss.
feel about it.
Man, this would be great. If imagine this amount of effort went into Keepers, I would, or even Mercenary, because like it was great, but it was just like these are like small little fucking Band-Aid things,
It's unfortunate, but like I would say it's funny me saying, like this new Abyss thing made even PoE2 feel fun for me. So how good it was.
It felt, loot was good. There was things to kill. You were over leveled while leveling or whatever.
I mean, for me, like why I liked Abyss that much was like how it worked mechanically, because like it felt like very organic how you like engage with those abysses, and then like you had the fights at the end, and the loot was great and the crafting.
The rares were challenging also objectively, nice. I would say.
Yeah, it's like perfect league, honestly. I don't think I've ever had so much fun, like even in PoE1, honestly, like in a while. Like if I would say I would compare this, like how much fun I had in like engaging with Abyss as a mechanic, as I don't know, like first time engaging with Legion, which is for me like big praise.
Oh yeah.
It was so good.
Big loot, big experience, big risk, dynamic fights, all good.
Actually super nice. So I'm very positive about the new patch. But yeah, as Manni said, it's like it's a pretty strict timing to not mess it up. So we'll see about that.
I have the absolute faith it'll be a shit show.
I mean, I'm probably gonna be like playing it as well. Most likely gonna try it out. But like for me, unfortunately, I have a pretty old machine right now. I built it like at the start of COVID.
Yeah.
So I wanted to replace my my PC like literally like around now, but the prices are just through the roof right now for me. So I can't.
So those damn Danish krones too expensive.
I mean, no, it's AI. AI.
Oh, he's blaming AI again. The old man yelling at the clouds.
I mean, okay, whatever, dude. give me $200 for buying memory that costs
200 Legi bucks is like 4 USD, no problem. It's like Monopoly money.
But yeah, like if someone looked into the prices of like memory, for example, it went up like $200 on one set of memory.
Machine learning crazy. Molested most part markets.
It's crazy actually.
The inverse of the previous problem, which was the Bitcoin miners were tanking GPUs after that whole market went under. But now it's machine learning is right back up.
I'm holding, but looking forward to the PoE2 League. I think it's gonna be okay.
Gotta play a bear of the druid. Just some big, slow, dumb bear, Can't not. It's be super fun.
Maybe. If they release druid.
They should.
Still have some Uber-boss uniques to farm, and there might be a 1 in 200, I suppose. So I'll be busy in PoE1 for a long time.
I really hope not. I really hope that you can get maybe I'll luck into getting that sword, because it's the only thing I really care about is I just want to get that dumb sword. Everything else I can get later.
I mean, you actually want to use it?
I do. I really love shrine stacking, and it is just really funny for that, I think.
Like first time I've seen that sword, like the model of the sword looks awesome. Like how
it looks like seeing Rakiata's baby, the big paddle.
It looks amazing, the model of the sword.
Golden Charlotte.
I'm kind of looking forward to getting it.
Yeah. It should be funny. I just really like the idea of using, the full, like a Blunderbore, a Gull, the Golden Charlatan, playing a Guardian, shrining everywhere, That to me seems really goofy, but that's the sort of thing I'd like to do, is build something like that. So I got to build a bosser, so I'm going to be doing the same thing Manni was doing, but unfortunately Manni doesn't want me to get my helmet, so he keeps preventing me from crafting it. And that's who I'm going to blame.
Well, you don't need the helmet. I played it without the helmet as well.
Oh, then I'm look like a chump,
Manni, I have a question to you. I have a really important question to you,
so
Manni.
Important, probably.
Can you play your Explodey build without Explodey chest?
I thought you were going to ask if you can do the Herald stacking without the Herald ring.
That was the next question, actually. Can you do that?
I mean, yeah. You can also change the class. You can even log out and play a Diablo 4 character instead. You can substitute that as well.
Yeah, maybe you should record that thing and tell that to your chatters. How about that? God, sorry to bring it up, but it's insane how much patience you have for those people.
Maybe I got confused. I just pissed my pants and shit myself. Was that the instructions? Because I'm covered in piss and shit, and I just this is what Manni told me to do.
Probably what those people would understand. Okay, as much as I love Manni's chatters, please, if you're playing Explodey build, you need Explodey chest. Okay.
I don't think he specified specifically, so I do have on. I do have 3 Ming's Heart now. I don't know what happened, but we got a 3rd Ming's on.
I'm so done. I'm so done with it.
Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe I misunderstood the instructions, but
Can you reroll something good, Manni? So people stop asking questions. Thank you. I hate it. I hate it so much.
The best is I used to write written guides or do build guides for things because if I'm playing a build for an extended period of time, I just gave up because you could put in all the effort you want, having it written down, having it in video form, having commands to it. It doesn't matter. They're just still going to come in and be like, I didn't get it.
I mean, it helps still. I made a crafting sheet.
I saw your thing.
Now I can just say read that instead of reciting it, because I could recite the
I couldn't find the website. Tell me how to do it. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I didn't get it. I just sent someone PayPal money. I'm not sure where it went.
Explosions. Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'm very tolerant. I don't mind it that much. I prefer it over having a dead chat sometimes when the league is dying out. I'm just heisting or something. I'd rather have explain the same weapon craft 25 times than say nothing.
I don't mind. The thing that's really
funny to me
is the rare name thing, which I have never experienced before, but apparently people do experience that, where if you have your POB or whatever, and then the name of the rare boots you're using are whatever, Dark Swift. That's just the random rare gen name, and people will literally look for the exact same name on a rare boot because they don't know better. That sort of thing to me is wild, but
I've not seen that.
One of the things in Path, it's you don't know it's so hard to unlearn something if you've done it a billion times, and it's to get in the POV of they don't understand what. So if someone asks me what bandits to kill, and I'm I've never not killed them all. You know, it's like I don't know what you mean.
What? I've been helping Creatine since the beginning. I haven't unhelped him.
You're hard.
I'm going to get 8 movement speed for the entire league.
I don't want it. The funny thing is you'll see people who kill all, but then they take just the 30% life mastery. I try to explain to them that, well, if you just helped Oak, you'd get 10% more life. There's no reason to be doing that.
Yeah, but that's kind of... Well, I'm taking the Creatine. If there was an 8% movement speed on the witch area, I would have that allocated 24/7. I would never take that one out.
Yes, yeah. It's true. I always take the passive, though. I just want more passives. But I do agree. There's definitely more thought than there was. It used to be a non-choice for... Well, forever it was a non-choice for different reasons. Then it became you're always taking 2 passives. And now it's like there's no real wrong answer, I would say. They're all pretty valid.
Unless Oak. Oak is the wrong answer.
I've been a big Allura fan for years, even in endgame builds.
The res, yeah.
15 res and multi. It's kind of like a jewel for 2 points.
It is like a jewel. But in the end game, I don't think I'd use a jewel that just said for 2 points, 15 all res.
Well, it used to be, 20 multi and 15 all res for 2 points.
It also had flat mana on it. That was old Allura was crazy, but now she's a husk of the woman she used to be, you know?
Yeah, now Creighton is my best friend.
Friendship with Allura ends, friendship with Creighton begins.
I just don't like Aramie, I guess. I'm just helping someone always.
You don't like old men? Like Legi?
Must be it. That's why I never help Oak.
Old men like Legi.
I think I'm the oldest here, actually. How old are you, Lighty?
I'm 35.
Okay, so you're the oldest.
I'm ancient, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but by 1 year, I guess. So it's not that big of a
I'm
difference.
ancient, though.
I'm the youngest.
Legendary. Ancient and my
chat keeps me
4.
uncle and boomer and whatever the hell, but I'm actually the youngest PoE player out there.
Well, what we could do is we could, like, you know, cut you open and count the rings and get your real age. That's what they do for trees.
I don't think that would work.
It might work. You can feel it. I'm dying to an essence right now in game.
Should I ask Manni if you can? Never mind.
Come kill assassins for me. Is there any? I guess we're just fucking JOing right now. Is there any?
Do we have like an FAQ section?
I didn't make one because I didn't know what time you were going to do whatever. But if anyone has any questions in chat before we wrap up, now's a good time to ask them. I don't think we have anything.
I think we maybe like undersold the league. Like at least how I feel about it.
Sure.
Like we've been hating a bit, but I think that this league is not too bad. Like honestly, it has a lot of good things for like, you know, non-giga tryhards. Let's call it that way. Like, you know, for people that just play the game.
Gamer Dad league.
There's a lot of things that you can have fun with, but it is not really Breach. Unfortunately, they missed the mark in my opinion. So hopefully they amend it at some point. Maybe with scarves, maybe with like, you know.
I'm really curious how this league becomes core and what they're going to change about it and which parts go core and which aren't. It's going to be very interesting to see in a couple of months from now when they decide to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot imagine this league going forward I can't imagine the tree not getting nerfed just because the floor for rares is so high. And I can't imagine them not introducing Atlas passives or Scarabs or both, because otherwise, if it's just nerfed tree with the exact same type of mechanics, that would be the most fucking vapid league going forward. I mean, to me, that's all it has at this point. Is like, I'm just playing League for the tree. I mean,
I really hope that they like remove this, like, you know, stationary breach encounter, or like do something.
Well, maybe they can have it so it's like the same as Ultimatum, where it's like, you know, it's 80% less of chance of getting this type, you know. So it's like, maybe. I don't want stone circles, so, you know, I want more normal breaches. I want more defend, like whatever you want, you know.
Maybe you're right, but like I just don't like this encounter. Like it feels like not breach, and like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And like, especially if we, let's say, assume that you can have multiple breaches in the map, because that's kind of what we want. Like as a player, that's what I would want. I would like to, you know, go back to like 3-4 breaches minimum in the map at some point, right? Like, how can you even have this, you know, walls everywhere encounter? It's
Oh, it just feels like
I don't
old
know.
retro PoE mapping. Stuck in a maze.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Even
kind
with the
of.
changes
So-
in the patch last week, I don't understand why the radius of the encounter is so big. I've never been to the edge of the whole like wall encounter. Why is it so massive? That I usually see tons of like dots in the minimap, 2 screens away,
Yeah.
just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be so big? I feel like half the radius would be totally fine on those.
Then the
screens.
density would also feel more concentrated.
And it wouldn't cover your entire map. Like I've been
wouldn't
farming beasts today, and
eat
all the
half my
red beasts are in like
mechanics.
one spot because the rest of the map is just a huge wall or fortress, and they
I
can't
do love
spawn
I
there.
do love
So I have,
seeing
like,
all my shrines
16 red beasts sitting on top of each other. Like,
with all my shrines in a row with no enemies around them because the
oh
breach
yeah, I
ate
had that
them
as well. Like 5 shrines in like
in a
in
fucking
a circle
conga
without
line.
a single pack around it.
Like,
Okay,
cool, man, I've
that's why I
lost
paid my gigs.
eight packs I've just paid for and they're gone. We do have a couple questions from chat. I guess we can answer. One of them is, what is a recommended way to get a belt this league if not from the tree in SSF? You're going to get a drastically different answer from each of this, I imagine.
Just pray to the tree and do more breach. Pray to the tree really hard.
Yeah.
Okay? And then
Stack
pray to the
decks,
tree again.
honestly, stack decks could be it. But I wouldn't plan on finishing it there. But stack decks could give you a card into a gamble, or diviner boxes. Could give you a card into
I
a
would say
gamble.
mappers. That's my answer. Because the mappers, I've gotten better loot yet again from mappers this entire league than I have gotten from the game. So that's my answer is mappers.
What have you
Mappers.
gotten?
What have I gotten from mappers?
Yeah.
20 divine pure. Just like a couple tier 1s, multiple, Valdos boxes and reliquary keys. Again, more things than I see myself. So
Well, technically, I got a Nims from uppers. I guess
there you go.
I mean, I think I got more Valdos from the mappers than myself as well.
Yep.
But they were all empty boxes with trash in them.
Guy in chat said their mapper game on Hate Forge. We had someone in our Discord get a mage bullet or a headhunter from their mappers today. So, that's my advice is mappers. Like you said, pray to the tree. Manny said potential div card into other thing.
I would say
The
like
Elysium to Nakano is so many stack decks.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how
Stack
good that
decks
until recently.
is very good. I would agree with that. Like that was the first thing. Like when someone else asked me about how to get a belt without me memeing about the tree pray. I think stack decks is very realistic. Get a card into gamble maybe. So
Manny just kind of whispered it, but it was Verisium to Caligar. Is that the one?
No, Verisium to Nakano, but
Okay.
both are good. Verisium to Rip and Fell is all the scarabs. And to Nakano, it's a huge amount of stack decks. Like, I realized how much value you actually get for doing an Verisium. I oftentimes skip them late in the league, but basically every Verisium you walk past like 10 to 15 stack decks or like 10 scarabs there.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty damn good, especially once you have the passives for it.
How do I support my mappers? You get a bunch of rank 5 and then a couple 4 mappers. You make sure you make about 500,000 gold a day, and then you feed them 16 rare maps, corrupted maps. And then you go to bed, and the second your head hits that pillow, they get captured by Sasan the Bandit Lord. That's his tradition.
I think the Blightheart Scarab is relatively common, and that strategy, like just using that Scarab with Blight passives, there's really much strategy behind it, is one of the better gold farms I've seen in this league.
Breach is actually a lot of gold. I just in general, Breach is a I would say they did increase the gold full stop, but I do think like Breach gives you a good amount of gold. Yeah. So that's definitely one of the decent ones. Any other questions I see in chat? Will the old Breach never come back again? It exists in standard right now, but not for long now.
And it's not guaranteed they won't come back. They will have to make a decision if this goes core or not. There's a small chance they just say, no, we're going back to the old breaches.
Really? You think that's even a...
I think there's at least a non-zero chance. I don't expect it now. I think Keepers will replace it.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying there's a 0% chance that this all gets reverted. Well, I guess there's a chance they could simultaneously operate because they're simply just not related. Like they fucking have nothing to do with each other, basically. I mean, aside from the name, which you could just change. Like if this league, instead of purple, just looked gold and you said it was Blight, I would believe you. Like
they could replace Blight with it and just have the Blight version of the new breach only.
Yeah.
And keep the old breaches.
There's no chance old breach is back. There is literally 0 chance old breach is back, I think.
Yeah.
I think 0%. If the reception, like the general opinion about it would be really bad, there would be a chance that they come back, but it's not bad enough.
I think they're too stubborn. I don't think there's any way. Because they're like 40 steps ahead on their mental palace of what they're trying to work on. This has already been done and dusted. They're already thinking about PoE 2 for Christmas. This is like an afterthought, I think, at this point.
Now that PO1 had this breach.
The next PoE 2 league is going to just be breach. It's going to be some volume of breaching.
2 breaches do need some love as well.
Well, it's just going to be keepers. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I'm hoping, keepers.
Or I'm kind of expecting that we'll probably see some kind of Abyss rework in PoE 1 next then, because PoE 2's Abyss is great.
I really hope so. I really hope we get the new Abyss, man. I'm praying for it.
Coming off the Edifice nerf, have you guys done Abyss at all in its current iteration?
I don't think I've cleared a single one that I didn't accidentally walk over.
Same.
I think same, yeah.
I did hear that the Edifice scarab is not that bad, though. It spawns a lot of, like, a Spire on every pit, and then you can use Titanic to make the Spire drop more stuff, so there's some potential, maybe. As a magic find strategy. Probably not much. But I should probably try it before I hate on it.
You could do the opposite. You could just hate it from afar.
We're doing it with PoE 2 already.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about before we head off, or is that you feel satisfied with everything you want to say about keepers? Because I think the next podcast will just be like the week. Well, I would say the week after PoE 2's thing. And if Manni and I are playing, at least we could talk about that for a little bit. But I can't imagine there's going to be much more for you guys that want to discuss regarding keepers going forward,
so,
right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do like check up on like our Unix, because I'm going to be same as Manni farming Uber Unix to like keep the collection.
I guess I'll probably be in a similar thing, start doing that once I finish the build.
But yeah, I'm definitely down to like do a PoE 2 podcast. What?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the initial plan. Like, the idea was we do one of these effectively monthly, before and after each launch of anything, right? Because it should stagger.
It becoming 6 months and 10 months.
Well, yeah. But assuming they stay on schedule, I think it's pretty easy for us to stay on schedule. So, assuming they behave themselves, then we'll do maybe a podcast the first week of December or something, like a little one before for PoE 2 stuff, and then one, couple weeks afterwards, kind of. That could be
sure.
That could be good.
It would be good.
How it looks.
Yeah.
We don't have a date yet about PoE 2.
No, don't think so. Yeah, but
it's gonna be 12. Yeah,
12 would make sense. Christmas Day. I can't wait to not play it. They've already fucked me with Halloween launch. I can't wait for the next holiday to be eaten up.
It's so funny to me that Halloween is such a big thing in US that like
it is. It's the second biggest holiday of the year.
It's crazy.
I remember, I think it was 2 years ago when they held, or maybe 3 years ago, Endless Delirium, and it started on New Year's Eve. 10 p.m. I think it started.
Yeah, there's no way. You're not going to get anybody from the U.S. They're going to be gone. We're going to be gone, dude. In the U.S., Halloween's huge. Yeah, it's just because all of our holidays are based off of capitalism, and it's just it's one of the large ones. Big one, especially if you have kids. It's bigger even then. But all right, cool. We did it. So that was good.
Good recap on the league, I'd
good,
say.
good recap. So, TLDR, everyone fucking hates everything. We're all gonna go play Diablo 5.
Yeah, they nerfed our loot from the ground. League is breach.
So now I live in the air.
It's just trash. Why live?
Mhm.
Just pray to the tree and get a headhunter or something.
Just pray to the tree. Pray to the tree and watch your headhunter, remove the headhunter mod and give you seize nearby rares. And you'll have the perfect item.
Amazing.
Good. All right, so it's probably it's pretty like bedtime for you guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I'm staying live, so you guys can just fucking slowly leave on your own.
Go ahead.
Okay.
But
good luck on the grind.
I'll be here doing this. So I'll see you guys next time. He's already gone. There he goes. All right. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, we'll be in touch for the next one.
Okay. All right. Have a good one.
Yeah.